Live from Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut, we bring you coverage of NCAA Division II baseball in the CACC as we get set to play two between the Chestnut Hill Griffins and your post-university Eagles. Good afternoon and welcome into the broadcast booth, ladies and gentlemen, backed by our entire production team of graduate assistants and our sports information director, Michael Vesci. My name is Max Stapleton. We are thrilled to be bringing you through today's home opening action. Both these teams have started the season on a bit of a roller coaster ride and look to settle it down today against some in-conference foes. The Eagles are 10-12 overall, but are 4-2 so far in CACC play, and having come off their season sweep of Caldwell, the Eagles look to continue that momentum and send the fans home happy today for opening day. Meanwhile, Chestnut Hill, they're 3-3 so far in conference action. Despite the loss to Wilmington last time out, they're coming off a very impressive series win against Dominican University where they took 2 of 3 games played. Both these teams are very offensive-minded, and some of D2's best hitters will be out for each side. For Chestnut Hill, it'll be Wyatt Spinks, who's in the top 10 in the conference in on-base percentage. Meanwhile, Manny Contreras is top 10 in the conference in OPS, and of course, he's one of the leaders on this Eagles team. So it should be a fun couple of games today here in Waterbury, and don't go anywhere as we got pitching matchups, starting lineups, game previews, and of course, the first pitch. It's all coming up next here on Post University Baseball's pregame show. Welcome back into Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury as the Eagles have taken the field for their home opening action on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. So let's meet the visitors today and the starting lineup for those Chestnut Hill Griffins. Starting out for them, well, actually, they're led by their head coach, Robert Spratt, in his 19th season as head man of Chestnut Hill. Leading off for them, it'll be Kenyon Motley playing short, Wyatt Spinks in center field batting second. Following him, the two-way player, Michael Pasco. He'll be on the mound starting today and batting third in the lineup. Nicholas Schiffler, he's the second baseman in the cleanup spot. Jackson Scholenberger batting fifth behind the plate. Matthew Sharkey in right field batting sixth. Aiden Myers follows him in left. Dylan Broderick, the first baseman, batting eighth. And rounding out the lineup today for the Griffins, it's going to be Michael Molosky at the hot corner. They're going to go up against a starter who's had a lot of experience early in his career. It's Justin Haska, the 6'1", 205-pound freshman out of Mattawa, New Jersey. A true freshman leading the team, making his sixth start of the season. So far this year, he's 1-3 with a 1.82 whip and an 8.47 ERA. Some positives to note for Haska, really that walk-to-strikeout ratio, 5 walks as opposed to 13 Ks so far this year. He is a little prone to giving up the long ball, has given up 4 home runs so far in 5 games started, so we'll see if he can settle that down a little bit today. But should be an exciting matchup between two intra-conference foes in the CACC as Haska looks to be getting the ball from his infield out on the mound. Stepping into the batter's box is going to be Kenyon Motley. And we're just about set to get underway from Waterbury. Beautiful day for baseball Saturday afternoon. Partly cloudy skies, but starting to get a little more sunny. 45 degrees at first pitch. Wind blowing out towards right field. Might help out some of the lefties. And we're officially underway here in Waterbury. 12:04 our first pitch. Misses outside to Kenyon Motley. And he'll start the day 1-0. Swings at the second offering and pops it foul, evens up the count at 1-1. Motley, the senior out of Wilmington, Delaware, transferred over a couple years ago from the College of St. Rose. So far having a tremendous season this year. 304 the average, 365 the on-base percentage. Takes the next offering outside, makes the count 2-1 early on him. Also of note, so far from Motley, this 8 RBIs on the season. Two offensive-minded teams, but Post has the better numbers so far on the offensive side of the ball. It also tends to help that Post has played almost 10 more games than Chestnut Hill so far this year. Post, of course, the most out of any team in the CACC. Big swing and a miss on a 3-1 count. And our opening at-bat of the day runs full, 3-2. Especially for true freshmen, you imagine you want to set the tone early. Right there, Haska unable to do so. Allows only his 6th walk of the season on the first batter of the day. So Kenyon Motley gets aboard, and it's going to bring up Wyatt Spinks. Spinks, the man we highlighted in our pregame show. Batting average, believe it or not, that's not even the best on the team. But what is the best on the team is an 1,000 OPS, 1099 to be exact. Motley takes his lead off first, and he's going to take a look over at him as Haska. Actually a pretty close pickoff move from the young right-hander, but Motley gets back in safely. Got to take a look over at Motley. He's leading the team 11 stolen bases and 13 tries this year. Immediately, Spinks squares around, pulls it back for ball 1. So, sacrifice in play here for Chestnut Hill. Of course, as we get deeper into CACC season, it feels like every team starts throwing down the bunts and starts playing small ball. Righty-on-righty matchup, and yet again another look over at Motley on first to no avail. 1 man on, nobody gone here in the top of the first. Second batter of the game, and a 1-0 count. Runner goes, pitch down low. Here comes the throw down to second base. And the ball actually got knocked loose on the slide, it looks like. So count that a stolen base for Kenyon Motley. It's his 12th of the season, one of the league's best in that category. Was tied for third with 11 coming into today. So immediately here to open up this game, Haska in a little bit of trouble with the runner in scoring position, nobody gone, and one of the league's best at the plate, and Wyatt Spinks. Pitch misses low and away, and it's 2-1. Interesting to note, as we highlighted with Haska, seems to have good control, typically speaking. No wild pitches on the year, only 2 hit batsmen, and coming into this game, only 5 walks through 5 starts, but already down behind 2-1 here, and maybe just looking to find it a little bit on a somewhat chilly, windy day. 2-1 offering, check swing, and home plate umpire says he went around, so it's going to even up here at 2-2. You can see a lot of these players on both sides donning the face mask today, trying to protect themselves from 14-mile-per-hour wind gusts blowing out left to right field. Tried a 2-2 slider that time. At least it looked like a slider did Haskell. Couldn't quite find the zone, and 2 batters, 2 full counts today for Chestnut Hill. Twelfth pitch of the inning coming up for Haskell. Payoff. Slow ground ball to the left side, charging on Hunter Keller. The barehand field throw over in time. Oh, what a play from Hunter Keller. Gets the speedy Wyatt Spinks, and it was looking like an infield single the entire way. Hunter Keller takes a hit away. Put a star next to that one. Kenyon Motley moves up to third in the process. So call it a fielder's, actually just a ground out 5-3. Now here comes the two-way player who we'll see a lot of today, including on the mound when we get to the bottom of the first. It's Michael Pasco stepping up to the plate. First pitch into him. Fastball finds the outside corner, 0-1. For Pasco, hitting-wise this season, his 15th start, having a good year. 314 batting average and 812 OPS. 2 doubles and a homer. Count evens up here, 1 apiece. Team leading 16 RBIs for Pasco. Not to mention he's got 7 walks and 11 strikeouts. So overall, just a dangerous hitter at the plate. And a 1-1 count here. Runner on third, 1 man gone. High fly ball foul down the right field line. We'll call it 1-2. Fly ball likely gives Chestnut Hill the lead here in the top of the first. Haskell's 1-2 offering. Fastball in there for a called strike 3. Big strikeout for Haskell. Here in this first inning, it's a huge second out, and now that fly out just ends the inning. First strikeout of the game for Haskell out on the mound. Now with 2 away, brings up the cleanup hitter Nicholas Schiffler. Interesting to note here for Chestnut Hill, even going up against a righty in Haskell, it's a lineup of 9 straight right-handed hitters today. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Schiffler, the sophomore out of Philadelphia, transferred in from Westchester University a couple years ago. 265 hitter so far this season. After a long hold, the 0-1. Fastball misses up and above the zone, evens it up 1 apiece. 265 average, 761 OPS for Schiffler. Team leading 4 doubles and a triple, however. Fouls it straight back over to the fencing here, and it moves it to 1-2. Also worth noting for Schiffler this year, 8 walks and 7 strikeouts. These are 2 teams that are pretty patient at the plate, will take their free passes. Give you the numbers on that in just a quick moment. A 1-2. Slider misses outside the zone. Nice stop behind the plate by Manny Contreras. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Walks-wise here, well, Post, they lead the conference with 116 walks at the plate. Meanwhile, for Chestnut Hill, they're 10th in the conference with 67, and that's going to be strike 3 on the outside corner. Great frame job by Manny Contreras to help Justin Haskell out of the inning. The Griffins, they get a runner on third, but are unable to get him home, and Haskell strands him scoreless. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. It's scoreless heading to the bottom of the first. Back in here at Municipal Stadium as we're getting ready for the bottom half of the first inning. So let's give you the starting lineup for the home squad today. And their first game here at Municipal all season long. Leading off, it'll be Gil Dolan in left field. Kevin Diaz, their center fielder, and Andrew Hartman, their right fielder. So all three outfielders batting 1, 2, and 3 in the order today. Manny Contreras behind the plate. He's batting cleanup. Jesse Alfala, the designated hitter, will follow him. Evan Cornwell, the shortstop. He's batting 6th. 7th, it's Max DiFrancesco over at first base. Hunter Keller is batting 8th at the hot corner. And round over at the plate, it's Michael Pasco making his third start of the season. So far this year, he's 0-1 with a 7.50 ERA. And it looks like there's not, he has to hand over his watch to the base coach possibly here. An umpire said something, and the watch might be too reflective. Might cause a distraction to the hitters. So, interestingly enough, Pasco starts his day out with a little bit of an equipment malfunction, we'll call it. Looks like he's waiting to get it back, however. Interesting to see what this is all about. It looks like they're letting him keep it, I guess. So, interesting, to say the least. Either way, Gil Dolan's going to step up to the plate, trying to lead things off for the Eagles and the home squad of the bottom half of the first. Dolan this year, sophomore out of Weymouth, Massachusetts, transferred over from UMass. Having a great season, a .296 batting average, .839 OPS. He takes ball one upstairs, 1-0. He's got a homer this year. That's his only extra base hit, but, man, a conference second most, 20 walks. That's exactly what you want out of your leadoff hitter. Just get on base by any means possible. You can already see some of that patience here. Takes a ball and a strike, 1-1 the count. So next offering in from Pasco gets popped up into the air. Shallow infield. Ranging into foul territory, it's the first baseman, Broderick. Another one of those two-way players for Chestnut Hill. And call it 1 out here on the pop out to the first baseman. Brings up Kevin Diaz now for the Eagles. Diaz, the junior out of Hidalgo, Texas. .233 season this year, a .661 OPS. 2 doubles, 5 RBIs, 9 walks to 9 strikeouts for the number 2 hitter for the Eagles. And mentioned in the top half of the first, very different approaches in terms of the matchup game here for each coach. First pitch actually might have gotten fouled off on the check swing there. Call it 0-1. Of course, for Chestnut Hill today, it's 9 straight righties in their lineup. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they got 2 lefties mixed in there and 2 switch hitters as well. Of course, this being a righty-on-righty matchup in the 0-1 count into Diaz. Squares around, pulls it back, and that's going to be ball 1. Diaz has a sacrifice fly on his ledger, but no actual sacrifice hits yet or sacrifice bunts, so see if he continues to try to lay this down. 1-1 offering into him so far. Line drive, soft looper into right field, and it just goes foul past that right field line. Makes the count 1-2. For Michael Pasco out on the mound, last start was against Dominican, part of that 2-game series win. He actually won the game against a team that's projected to finish pretty high in the CACC this year. Impressive start, 5 innings of work, only 3 earned runs last time out for the Griffins starter. Obviously trying to follow that up against another team that's projected to finish pretty high in the CACC conference standings. Right now, Post at 4-2, sitting tied for second with a whole slew of teams. And too early in the season to really be looking at standings anyway, but always fun to do. Diaz trying to stay alive at the plate, the 2-2 offering. Soft grounder, foul yet again. So we'll do the 2-2 at least one more time. Diaz, he's hit safely in 2 straight games, coming off a really nice performance against Bentley last time out. 2 for 4 in that one with a run scored. Count runs full against him. He's putting up a nice at-bat here with one away in the first inning. Next pitch will be number 7 this battle. Andrew Hartman, another lefty for these Eagles, waiting on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. The payoff. Swing and a miss for strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Michael Pasco out on the mound. That makes it 2 away here in the first, and Hartman trying to keep this inning alive for Post University. Interestingly enough, Pasco on the mound, not the biggest strikeout pitcher. Only 8 of them in 12 innings pitched so far. Actually has more walks than strikeouts on the year pitching-wise. So expect the Eagles to try to be patient, but already has one of them on his ledger today. First pitch in to Andrew, 1-0. Hartman this year, boy, what a season he is having. 21 games, this being his 22nd game now in 20. It's a hard ground ball to the right side. Nicholas Schiffler is there to field. Gets it over to the pitcher, Pasco, covering. And actually, did Pasco drop that ball? Looks like he did. Boy, a little mental lapse that time for Michael Pasco. It looked like Hartman was hustling down the line, but I don't think he would have beaten that out. So we're going to call that an E1 here in the first inning, and that's going to keep the inning alive for Post University. So Hartman, he also has some speed out on the base pass. We'll see if he decides to utilize it. Gives way to Manny Contreras. Contreras, one of the best hitters in the CACC last year, following it up this year, at least early on. 6 in the conference with a 1.163 OPS. Just ridiculous numbers for Contreras. He takes strike 1 on the outside corner. On the season, team leading .365 batting average, a .714 slugging percentage. That's equivalent to 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 4 homers. Takes ball 1 off the outside corner, 1-1. Not to mention, to go along with the rest of his numbers, Contreras has got 15 RBIs on the year. Runner on first, that's Hartman. 2 gone here in the bottom half of the first. A little check swing. Home plate umpire says Contreras went around. It's going to go to 1-2, and you can see the reaction from Contreras there. Not in love with the call. Contreras, one of the few star players from last year's team still on this year's team. Just happened to work out that way with a lot of turnover in between seasons. Of course, got to expect Ray Skold to lean on Contreras as the year goes on. Not only is he a veteran out there, an experienced player with post, but he's also just a catcher, which is a natural leading position as it is. Captain. 2-2 count with 2 gone. And a quick check over on Hartman on first. Hasn't tried one yet this year. Actually, I stand corrected. Hartman, he's 1 for 2 so far this year. He was 2 for 2 last year in stolen bases. Fouled off. Way to stay alive for Contreras there. Looked like he was almost beat by a fastball, but just found a way to put the barrel on. Pasco trying to work a scoreless first inning. Once again, another 2-2. Chopped softly, and it'll be fouled down the third base line, so we'll do the 2-2 at least one more time. Next pitch will be number 7 of this at-bat, so only 4 batters faced, but at least by my count, that's going to be 18 pitches, this being the 19th coming up for Pasco. Another 2-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. Schallenberger picks it up, fires down to first in time, and that will do it for the Eagles in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. Pasco strikes out 2 as we head to the second. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium. After a scoreless first inning, we head to the second here for some home opening action. Justin Haskup coming back out there for Post University. Worked a clean first inning, gave up the leadoff walk. Ended up having that runner move into scoring position and then third base, but ended up getting out of the jam. Ground out, strikeout following that. So 4 batters faced. And now here comes the 5th. It's Jackson Schollenberger, the catcher, here for Chestnut Hill. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Schollenberger behind the plate, but yet again listed as a two-way player for the Griffins. There'll be plenty of those throughout the day, throughout both games today. Batting-wise this year for Schollenberger, he's a .293 average and a second-best 1,042 OPS. Second best on the team, I should say. A double, 2 triples, and 3 homers. I think it's a high pop-up back behind home plate. It's going to go fouling out of play, so call it 1-2 on him now. Certainly a dangerous hitter. And Schollenberger transferred over from Charleston Southern University a couple years ago. Junior out of Easton, Pennsylvania. Coming in on a 6-game hit streak. It's a hard line drive deep into left field. Ranging over there is Gil Dolan. He's not going to get there. He slides to try to cut it off. Schollenberger strolling into 2 for an easy stand-up double to lead off the second inning. Boy, a hard-hit line drive. A pitch that probably just caught a little too much of the plate if you're Justin Haskup. And yet again, for the second straight inning, it's the leadoff hitter into scoring position for Chestnut Hill. And we'll see if Haskup can get out of this one again. It's the first hit of the day for either side. Coming up to bat next, it's going to be Matthew Sharkey, right fielder here for Chestnut Hill. Sharkey can also play behind the plate. True freshman out of Furlong, Pennsylvania, hitting .324 in his rookie campaign. Good stop behind the plate by Contreras. Brings it to 1-0. .324, 3 doubles. That's all of his extra base hits and 7 ribbies for Sharkey. From the stretch, Haskup deals the 1-0. Breaking ball missed low and below the zone, and a dangerous spot here. 2 balls, no strikes. Let's give you the defense while we still can for Post University today. Left to right in the outfield, it's Gil Dolan, Kevin Diaz, and Andrew Hartman. We'll wait after this pitch. Up high, 3-0 now on Sharkey. In the infield, left to right, it's Keller at the hot corner, Evan Cornwell at short, Vega at second, and Max DiFrancesco over at first. Behind the plate, it's Manny Contreras, battery mates, of course, with Justin Haskup. 3 balls and no strikes to the number 5 hole hitter for Chestnut Hill. And it's a hard line drive. Green light on 3-0, and he lines into and out over in left field. Gil Dolan right there in perfect position. And interestingly enough, Matthew Sharkey, I mean, I guess if you're going to pick anyone, you'd pick the guy with the .324 batting average on your team. And he hit it well. Just got a little bit unfortunate that time. So 1 away, still that runner on second base in Schollenberger. Now Aiden Myers is the next batter up. Myers, the redshirt junior, originally hails from Southampton, Pennsylvania, as many of his teammates do as well. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Shallow outfield, ranging back there, Vega, and it's the right fielder, Hartman, who comes in and makes the catch. Hartman had to run a long way for that one, but it looked like Vega just wasn't going to be able to make that basket catch. It would have been really hard had he tried, so good communication from the Eagles, and it brings us our second out of the inning. Calling that a pop-up to right field. Not often you get to write that down in your scorebook. Brings up the 8-hole hitter now, Dylan Broderick. Yet again, another two-way player for Chestnut Hill. Another fairly local player out of Royersford, Pennsylvania. Batting-wise this year, he's hitting .207. Only a .584 OPS. Takes breaking ball for strike 1. 6 hits on the year. Only one of them for extra bases. It was a double. It actually came in their last game against Wilmington. 0-1 offering into him. Popped up, foul, and out of play. DiFrancesco gives it a look, but it's well past the fence. Quickly goes to 0-2, so yet again Haskell, after giving off the leadoff double to Jackson Schollenberger and putting the leadoff runner in scoring position, has a chance to get out of it, only one pitch away. Looking for his third strikeout of this game. From the stretch, Haskell's 0-2 offering. Once again, popped up. Right field, ranging over. Andrew Hartman drifting into foul territory, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors. One man left on base. We got our first hit of the ball game. Let's see if the Eagles can answer as we head to the bottom of the second. Michael Pasco getting ready to go into his second inning of work after facing 4 in the first. Gave up that error himself, but otherwise no action doing in the first inning for the Eagles. See if they can manage a little better here in the second. Leading them off, it'll be Jesse Alfala, the DH today. Takes ball 1 off the outside corner. Alfala, bat leadoff for 18th this year, a .316 batting average, 2 doubles, and 12 RBIs. Takes the next pitch right in there for a strike, evens up the count at 1 apiece. Looked like Schollenberger had a bit of trouble with that one behind the plate. Alfala coming into this game on a modest 4-game hitting streak, but a very impressive 9-game on-base streak. Now the 1-1 offering into him. Boy, a little late on that fastball, and it goes to 1-2. Follow the junior out of White Plains, New York. Typically a second baseman or a shortstop, but with Vega over at second base, at least in game 1, he's the DH for this one. Evens up the count at 2 apiece here. Meanwhile, for Pasco, only 2 starts this year and a bit of a whopping 7.50 ERA. So, if you're an Eagles fan, it feels like it's only a matter of time, but that was a pretty beautiful pitch there from Pasco to record his 3rd strikeout of this one. And it goes as a K looking for Alfala. Just locked him up. Looked like a curveball there that dotted the outside corner. And with 1 away, Evan Cornwell is going to be the next up to the plate for Post University. Cornwell, the graduate transfer, came in from the University of Delaware. First offering into him misses down low. .290 batting average this season. Switch hitter out of Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. He's got 3rd best on the team, a .419 slugging percentage. It's a hard ground ball, back up the middle, charging on is Schiffler. The throw on the run, safe. Good hustle that time from Evan Cornwell to beat out the throw. It was a handy scoop from Broderick over at first, but Cornwell gets the first base hit of this game for the Eagles and called an infield single at that. So now with a runner on first and 1 gone, it's going to bring up Max DiFrancesco. True freshman, coming from a long ways away out of Gilbert, Arizona. Runner takes off on the first pitch. Here comes the throw down. Oh, what a throw that time from Jackson Schollenberger. Got him by a mile and then some. Call it a caught stealing of Evan Cornwell, the first time he's been gunned down so far this season, that being his third attempt. And just like that, nobody on and 2 away here in the second. Boy, that was a bullet from Schollenberger behind the plate. Pitch missed down low on the last one. That time it finds the outside corner, so call it 1-1. That really helps out your pitcher. Turns in from a somewhat stressful situation, could have been a very stressful situation with the runner in scoring position, to now you feel like you're about to breeze through this inning. Another pitch misses down low, so DeFrancesco moves ahead in the count 2-1. DeFrancesco, I should say, Caldwell his last time out. Tardy on the fastball there, and it evens it up at 2-2. Notice so far from Michael Pasco, he's getting these Eagles hitters to be behind on the fastball, and I think that's just because he's being selective as to when he uses it. Using a lot of off-speed so far early in this game. 2-2, and he gets another strikeout once again. Eagle hitter late on a fastball. That's his 4th strikeout of the game, and he faces the minimum, does Pasco, here in the second. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base, as we're scoreless heading into the third here on Post University Baseball. We head to the top of the third inning. Still scoreless between the Griffins and the Eagles here in Waterbury. As Justin Haskup gets ready for his third inning of work. Giving up a base runner in each of the first 2, but found a way to get out of it each time. And he'll go up against the 9-hole hitter here to lead off the third. It's Michael Milosky batting. Milosky, the senior, grounds one softly over to the third base side in the first pitch. Keller fields, fires, 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 out. And a good start for Haskup here in the third inning. Brings us back to the top of the order, and Kenyon Motley steps back up to the plate. Motley worked an impressive walk to lead off this game for Chestnut Hill and immediately stole a base as well. Looking to follow it up again. Motley now, including this game, has a 5-game on-base streak. Still looking to extend his 4-game hitting streak coming into this one. Boy, he's been on a bit of a stretch lately. 2 hits 4 games ago, a couple of games with 1 hit, and then last time out against Wilmington, another 2-for-4 day. Skies one in a deep center field this time. Everybody's looking up, and it's actually going to split the outfield and split the outfielders from Gil Dolan and Kevin Diaz. And that does extend the hitting streak for Kenyon Motley. Called another double for Chestnut Hill. And yet again, they're in business with a runner in scoring position here in the top of the third. Motley already having an uber-productive day at the plate, on base each time he's come up. Now Wyatt Spinks steps up. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Ray Skold is taken out Kevin Diaz over in center field. My guess is that he's not too happy with the effort shown on that fly ball. And to me, it did look like it was hit pretty high up in the air. So Kevin Diaz comes out of this game in center field, interestingly enough, mid-inning. We'll let you know who comes in center field in just a moment. It's a little hard to see the numbers from all the way out here, but I'm sure we'll get that in a quick second. So either way, the Eagles with a defensive change. Over in center, runner on second, one man gone, and Spinks back up to the plate. First pitch, down low. Good stop by Contreras behind it. It goes to 0-1. It's going to be Joey Cohen over in center field, by the way, for Post University. Quick pickoff move over to second base. Oh, it looked like they almost got him, and ruling him safe as the second base umpire, but Kenyon Motley leaning too far off the second base bag and had to hustle his way back into second base. It was a bang-bang play. So still a 1-0 count here to Spinks. 0 for 1 after grounding out back in the first. Count runs to 2-0 on him now. Not the place you want to be if you're Haskell necessarily. Of course, Spinks, one of the best in the CACC with a .359 batting average and an over 1,000 OPS. Ahead in the count, 2-0 here. The offering. Make it, ooh, never mind. Call it 2-1. Good frame job by Contreras behind the plate yet again. Possibly stealing a strike, the veteran catcher does, and it moves to 2-1. From the stretch. Next offering in. Soft blooper out into shallow right center field, and it's going to find some grass for a base hit. Rounding third is Kenyon Motley. They're waving him throw. The throw home gets cut off and called that an RBI single for Wyatt Spinks, and Chestnut Hill takes a 1-0 lead. For Spinks, believe it or not, only his 5th RBI of the season. Of course, Chestnut Hill, they've only played, this is their 15th game of the year, so going to be a bit of a difference in the numbers there, but for Spinks, comes through in a big moment early in this game, gives the visitors the early lead. Now the first pitch in to Michael Pasco finds the outside corner, and it goes to 0-1. Pasco, he struck out swinging back in the first inning. That was the first K of the day for Justin Haskell. Quick check over on the runner on first in Spinks to no avail. Spinks, you definitely got to keep an eye on him. He's tied for 8th in the conference with 9 steals. Not to mention he's 100% so far this season when trying to steal. Long hold and a good pitch that time from Haskell as it goes to 0-2. Feels like Haskell and Contreras have been targeting that outside corner to all of these righties in this lineup today for Chestnut Hill. See if he goes back there. He does. It was a little bit of a pitch out, I believe, that time. Trying to get the runner. And Wyatt Spinks leaning too far off the first base bag. Could have just been a high outside fastball, but looked like Contreras got up pretty early. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball off the inside corner, and it gets fouled off. So we'll stay at 1-2. Runner on first and Spinks. 1 out and a run already home for Chestnut Hill here in the top of the third. Haskell looking for strikeout number 3 in this one. And before we get even the chance to, he's going to check yet again. Over on Spinks on first. Time got called, and it looked like a warning got given. At least we heard a warning get given, but couldn't have been for a pitch clock violation. I was keeping my eye on it and wasn't taking down of any kind. Either way, here comes a soft blooper into left field this time, and Michael Pasco gets himself aboard with a base hit. So call it 3 hits in a row for Chestnut Hill. The double from Motley, RBI single from Spinks. Now that blooper hit from Michael Pasco. 2 on, 1 gone, and it brings up their cleanup hitter, Nicholas Schiffler. Good at bat that time from Pasco as well, staying alive in a 1-2 count, fouled off a tough pitch, and found one that he could just bloop into left center. Dangerous spot here. Chestnut Hill looking to add on. First pitch swinging for Nicholas. Scheffler this year already has 6 RBIs, looking to add on to that total. A 265 average, 388 slugging, so some pretty good numbers here as he grounds one hard. Oh, nice stop by the third baseman Keller. He steps on third for one, the throw across the diamond in time, and that is how you get out of a jam if you're Justin Haskup and Hunter Keller. So he has made a couple of great plays in the field today. Overall in the inning, it's 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base for Chestnut Hill as they now lead it 1-0 heading to the bottom of the third. We move to the bottom half of the third inning here in Waterbury, and it's the Eagles trailing by a run. Looking to come back from that deficit. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for post, starting off with Hunter Keller. Of course, Michael Pasco still on the mound, working into his third inning. He's only faced 2 over the minimum through 2, one of them an error, the other an infield single. So safe to say the contact hasn't been great so far for the Eagles, and Pasco doing a nifty job of limiting some dangerous post batters. First pitch misses outside to Hunter Keller, and that goes to 1-0. Keller this year making his 21st start leading the team, and you can see why. He's made some dazzling plays at third base already. Goes to 2-0 on him now. This year, a third best on the team, 309 batting average, 780 OPS, 2 doubles, no homers, 11 RBIs. 2-0 offering into him. Finds the outside corner, and it moves to 2-1. Keller coming into this one on an 8-game on-base streak. Coming off a 1-for-2 performance last time out at Caldwell University. Now ahead in the count, 3-1 here. Good spot. Veteran infielder from Oxford, Connecticut, went to Oxford High School. And he works a walk to lead off this third inning. Only the first walk given up today from Michael Pasco. And they tend to say leadoff walks lead to bad things. So we'll see if that remains the case in this one, if that trend stays true for the Eagles. As we mentioned in our pregame show, they're a team that likes to be patient at the plate. They take a lot of walks and work their way on base. So Rene Vega now stepping up. 9-hole hitter today for the Eagles. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Runner on first, nobody gone. First offering in, finds the top of the strike zone, and it goes to 0-1. Vega, the sophomore, off to a bit of a slow start this year, but you know he's got the capability to really tear it up at the plate, as he did last year. 0-1 offering. Squares around, gets it down, but it's going to just be foul. It goes to 0-2 quickly on the second baseman. This year, a 194 batting average for Vega, but keep in mind that comes with a 509 on-base percentage. Well, how does that happen, you ask? I'll tell you how. 17 walks for the sophomore this year. It's third most in the conference. So as mentioned a couple of times already, patient team, and this might be their most patient hitter in Vega. The 0-2. Soft line drive, fielded on a hop. Actually, he takes a funny hop and goes behind Kenyon Motley, the shortstop, and that's going to allow the runner to advance to third. Here comes the throw into second base, and Rene Vega legs out a hustle double to put two in scoring position for the Eagles. Rene Vega, who hasn't started a game since the 14th at Holy Family, starts this one in the home opener and immediately finds a way to make an impact with nobody gone here in the bottom half of the third. It's two men in scoring position, and we go back to the top of the order in Gil Dolan. Dolan 0 for 1 today, popped out back in the first to lead off this game for the Eagles. But a 296 average and a 487 OBP coming into this one. First pitch finds the outside corner, and it goes to 0-1. Do you have a base open to work with if you're Pasco out on the mound, but doesn't do you much good as you're back at the top of the order. However, Ray Skoll decided to take out Kevin Diaz during that last inning in the field. Hard liner foul down the first baseline, 0-2. And with that, it's going to bring up Joey Cohen in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Cohen also having a pretty good year, but definitely the less experienced of the two. Having to protect here is Dolan, the 0-2, and he does just that, fouls it off. It'll remain at 0-2. Inning started off with the first walk of the game from Michael Pasco. It was a good at-bat from Keller, and then Rene Vega in an 0-2 count. Found a way to lace a double, really a hustle double into shallow left center. Now the 0-2, a good take that time from Dolan. Call that a stone cold take. Breaking ball looked like it was going to be a strike 90% of the way there. Righty on lefty, the 1-2. Fouled off yet again. So Dolan putting up a battle here despite it only being a 1-2 count. This will be the sixth pitch of the at-bat coming up next. As we watch more of Gil Dolan and get to understand the UMass transfer, you understand why his numbers are so good this year. He's got a 3-game hitting streak coming into this game, a 12-game on-base streak as well. And over that 3-game hitting streak, well, he's just a casual 6 for 10. Two RBIs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. He's also 2 for 2 in stolen bases in that stretch. Can he protect another time here? The 1-2. And he does. It'll remain the same. These type of battles are really fun to watch, especially as you start getting to the second and third time through the order. Batters, they take their notes, they make adjustments, and it seems like the Eagles are doing that here in the bottom of the third. Looking to get home their first run of the game. Fastball misses way up and above the zone. Now makes it 2-2. This will be pitch number 8 of this at-bat coming up next. It's been a long inning so far for Pasco, and he still hasn't gotten an out yet. The 2-2. Breaking ball misses off the outside corner, and it runs full. 3-2. Big pitch coming up for Pasco in the course of this game. The payoff pitch. Hard ground ball to the right side, fielded cleanly by Broderick. He steps on the bag for the out, but that's going to bring home the tying run. So Gil Dolan does his job, picks up an RBI on the ground out, also moves the runner and Rene Vega from second to third. It's now 1-1, and it brings up Joey Cohen coming up to the plate now. Cohen, of course, came in as a fielder last inning after, I believe, don't have confirmation or anything, but just think Coach Ray Skoll was not happy with the way Kevin Diaz chased after a fly ball in the gap. First pitch, breaking ball. Boy, it looked like it was going to hit Joey Cohen, and it found a way to sneak back into the strike zone. And it goes to 0-1 on him. So Cohen so far in the year, a .267 hitter, slightly below 700 OPS, 3 ribbies. Soft looper into foul territory down the first baseline. He got jammed there. Looked like he was trying to rub off his hands a little bit after that foul ball, and it goes to 0-2 on him. Runner on third, that's Rene Vega. One man gone and a run already home here in the bottom of the third. The 0-2. Fastball well up and above the zones. Called a ball and 2 strikes now. For Cohen, it's been a little bit since he's gotten his last hit. Came back on the 14th at Holy Family, so looking to reverse that trend a little bit, and he does just that. Joey Cohen comes through after coming into the game with an RBI single, and it gives the Eagles a 2-1 lead. Got to be a really good feeling for the junior out of Woodmere, New York, transferred in from Westchester Community. The Vikings, I should say, and making an impact so far. Really good fielder, and the bat's starting to come together for him as he gives the Eagles the lead here in the third. Not to mention a good job yet again by another post hitter protecting with 2 strikes. Move things over to Andrew Hartman now, and he swings at the first pitch, lines it into straightaway center field, ranging back and going over the head of Wyatt Spinks. It's going to go all the way to the wall for extra bases. Spinks fields it quickly. They're going to send the runner around third and into home. The throw comes into second base, so called an RBI double for Andrew Hartman. Joey Cohen goes first to home on the play, and it's now a 3-1 Eagles lead. And yet again, want to sing the praises of Cohen because he had a great read on that line drive, was taking off immediately, knowing that Wyatt Spinks wasn't going to catch that one, and indeed it did go over his head. And how about the bullet off the bat of Andrew Hartman? For Hartman, his team-leading 22nd RBI of the season. And the Eagles, after a slow first couple of innings offensively, have picked it up and then some here in the third. 3 already home. Now the first pitch into Contreras misses low and below the zone. Nice pitch, nice stop, I should say, by Schollenberger behind the plate. Contreras 0 for 1 today. Ended the first on a strikeout swinging after a pretty good at-bat. First pitch into him. Breaking ball. Misses. Of course, Contreras this year, 15 RBIs, but it's the power that you got to look out for. 4 home runs, top 10 in the conference. Chops one foul down the third baseline. It goes to 2-1. Eagles, not a whole lot of home run hitters throughout the years, at least the years that I've been calling, but Manny Contreras certainly one of them. Certainly good reason for him to be batting in the cleanup spot, trying to come through yet again for post. He's in a good position here after that fastball misses above the zone, and it goes to 3-1 now. A little surprised we haven't seen a mound visit here from any Chestnut Hill coach trying to settle down Passcode after a couple of very quick innings. He struggled here in the third. Now the 3-1. Breaking ball, good pitch. Takes a lot of courage to be able to throw the curveball or maybe the changeup that time on a 3-ball count. And he did it for a strike, fooled Manny Contreras, and this is a huge pitch coming up for Pasco. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on second. The payoff. Breaking ball, and he gets the sword of Manny Contreras. I think Contreras thought that one was going to break more than it did. That's another strikeout for Michael Pasco and a huge second out of this inning. For Pasco, that's his 5th K of the day, so he's got the strikeout stuff working today. But he's given up a rally here in the 3rd. And the 7th batter of the inning to come around for the Eagles will be Jesse Alfala. Swings at the first pitch, a high fly ball, straightaway right field. Sharkey under it, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But the Eagles, they end up scoring 3 runs on 3 base hits, no errors, and they leave 1 man left in scoring position. It's now a 3-1 lead for the good guys here on Post University Baseball. Officially a third of the way through this game. And let's give you the line scores through 3 of this one for the visitors. Chestnut Hill, it's 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error, I should say. Meanwhile, for the home squad, 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors for the Eagles. Leading it off in the top of the 4th, it's Jackson Schollenberger. Immediately takes a strike and it moves to 0-1. Schollenberger got this game started for Chestnut Hill back in the 2nd. First hit of the day for the visitors. It was a double, but was unable to come home after Justin Haskup really worked a nice inning afterwards. And Haskup, he's run into trouble in each of his first 3 innings, but for the most part, he's found a way to get out of it. A 1-1 offering to a dangerous two-way player. Misses up in a... He's 1 for 1 today. Saying dangerous because hitting-wise, well, he's hitting basically 300 on the year. Came into this one at 293. Hard ground ball to the left side. Fielding it cleanly is Evan Cornwall. And he fires to first in time. 1 up, 1 down here in the 4th. Brings up Matthew Sharkey coming up to the plate next. If you remember, back in the 2nd inning for Sharkey, it was a runner on second. He was ahead in the count 3-0, but coaches green-lighted him 3-0, and he lined out to left field. It was a hard hit ball, but a little bit of unlucky placement. First offering into him this time around. This is another hard hit ball deep into center field. Ranging back and now in is Joey Cohen, and he makes the catch. Quickly 2 gone here in the 4th. And so, wasn't like he was pitching inefficiently by any means, but this is very efficient for Haskup out on the mound. Came into this inning having thrown only 41 pitches. Actually, a little more than that, 45 pitches. This next one will be his 6th of the inning. Hard ground ball back up the middle, and Aiden Myers works his way aboard with a leadoff single on the first pitch. So maybe the game plan has changed a little bit for Chestnut Hill coming into this 4th inning, because all of a sudden we're seeing some aggressive approaches at the plate, swinging early and often. It's 2 straight batters who have swung and made contact with the first pitch. This time it works out. And now Dylan Broderick's back up to the plate. Broderick 0 for 1, flew out to right his first time around. Chestnut Hill trying to come back from their 2-run deficit. Check over on the runner on first to no avail. Myers, he's 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts this year on first, so you got to keep here. He was 16 for 22 in that category. Quickly goes to 0-1 on Broderick. Pretty good or had a pretty good year last year pitching-wise, struggling this year on the mound, and a little bit slow to pick it up again with the bat, only hitting 207 coming into today. So certainly know he's capable of turning those numbers around. Chestnut Hill just hoping it happens sooner rather than later. Righty on righty matchup. Runner on first, 2 gone. High fly ball to center field. Ranging in, Joey Cohen. Actually, right center field, I should say. And Cohen calls off Hartman to make the catch for the final out of this inning. A very quick, very efficient inning for Justin Haskup out on the mound. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. It's the Eagles looking to add on to their 3-1 lead when we come back. Evan Cornwell to lead things off for Post University as we enter the bottom half of the 4th. Still Michael Pasco out on the mound. Pasco, of course, worked a very quick first couple of innings, but then in the 3rd ran into some trouble. 3 runs on 3 hits, and now 61 pitches into his outing. We'll see how long the leash is that Robert Spread allows him. Of course, Pasco, two-way player, very good hitter as well, and fully expect him to be in the lineup for Game 2. Cornwell got the first hit of the day for the Eagles on the other side of things. Worked an infield single back in the 2nd inning, so he's 1 for 1. Did get caught stealing, trying to stretch it to 2. Or not stretch it to 2, but you know what I'm saying. Get himself into scoring position. Righty on lefty matchup. We'll switch hitter batting from the left side. 0-2. Misses well outside the strike zone. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Cornwell coming off a 2-for-5 performance where he hit both a double and a triple in Caldwell. Fouls one straight back this time around, so it remains at 1-2. Not to mention for Evan Cornwell, I should say. It's got to be a bit of a monkey off his back. He was 0 for his combined 9 prior to that last game. He swings and fouls that one off, so he's staying alive here at the plate. Of course, besides even with that 0 for 9 stretch, I mean, Cornwell having a .290 season this year, so just some tremendous stuff. Looking to stay alive yet again. Good battle here, the 1-2. Hard ground ball to the right side, fielded cleanly this time by Schiffler, and he throws the first in time. After a good battle there, it ends up being out number 1 on the 4-3 putout. And it brings up Max DiFrancesco. DiFrancesco, the corner infielder, manning the first base position today. 0 for 1 so far, struck out to end the 2nd inning. And he checks his swing, but fouls that one off, actually. 2nd time we've seen that little check swing foul ball today. Goes to 0-1 on him. DiFrancesco was 2 for 4 his last time out, and another one of those players who was 0 for his last whatever prior to that, so Hopefully it helps get him going a little bit. It's not like he's been struggling, however. A 286 season this year, and only his 5th game started, but 12th game overall. 1-1 offering into him. Fouled off at the plate. It goes to 1-2. Meanwhile, for Pasco, it's an interesting approach on the mound. He is really slowing it down with some of these off-speed pitches, relying on them. It seems like he's throwing them more than his fastball. Getting a lot of hitters to do exactly what we saw DeFrancesco just do and swing over a lot of pitches. That time it looked like DeFrancesco might have fouled it off into his foot. So he took a little stroll back in the box now. A ball and 2 strikes, nobody on, 1 man gone. Good stop behind the plate again by Schollenberger. Evens up the count, 2-2. DeFrancesco, the 7-hole hitter. It'll be Hunter Keller due up on deck. Keller, of course, one of those red-hot post hitters right now. 2-2 offering. Slow ground ball to the second baseman Schiffler. He charges on, fields, fires in time. So 2 batters, 2 4-3 putouts to start off this 4th inning. It'll be Hunter Keller in to try to keep things alive for the Eagles. Keller's already extended his 8-game on-base streak into 9 games. And over his last 2 games coming into this one, casual 3 for 5, double, 2 ribbies, 2 runs, a walk, a hit by pitch. And it looked like Michael Pasco that time just got a pitch clock warning. Not quite a pitch clock violation, but umpire was telling him, hey, you got to have eye contact in by 8 seconds on the clock. Keller, first pitch swinging, skies one in the deep right field. Hanging over there is Sharkey. He's not going to get there. It's a fair ball, and it goes all the way into the wall. Hunter Keller continues his red-hot streak as he gets on base for the 2nd time today, and it's a 2-out double for the Eagles. So all of a sudden, with a man in scoring position for Post University, it brings up their 9-hole hitter who was able to get a double his last time out. It's Rene Vega. As mentioned, his last time up, Vega was a tremendous .333 last year in 46 games started. Still at the very beginning stages of the season this year. Off to a slower start, but seems to be picking it up as of late. Certainly has gone on base a good amount of times. Switch hitter batting lefty. The 1-0. Popped high in the air, shallow left field, charging on Aiden Myers. He lays out, and he makes the grab. Boy, Aiden Myers had to run a long way to get that out, and he steals a runaway from Rene Vega and the Eagles. Overall in the frame for Post University, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Put a star next to that one in your scorebook. It's 3-1 heading to the 5th. We move to the fifth inning, and it's the 9-hole hitter leading things off for Chestnut Hill. Michael Molosky steps up to the plate, swung at the first pitch his last time out, and grounded out to the third baseman Keller. So call him 0 for 1 so far today. Of course, Justin Haskup working out onto his fifth inning of work for the Eagles. Count moves to 1-1 on him. For Molosky this year, he's a 167 hitter, this being his 11th game started of the season. 3 doubles and an RBI on his ledger. Takes a strike on the outside corner, and the count moves to 1-2 on the Chestnut Hill 9-hole batter. 9-1-2 this inning due up, and it was the most efficient inning of the evening so far for Justin Haskup out on the mound. It remains 1-2. Only threw 8 pitches by my count in the last frame, so if you're Ray Scold, you would love to see that again. Little soft popper over to the shortstop. Evan Cornwell ranges over and makes the catch for an easy out number 1 here in the fifth. Molosky drops to 0 for 2 on the day. We go back over to the top of the order. It's Kenyon Motley stepping into the plate. Motley 1 for 1 in this one. Worked a walk his first time up, stole a base, then ripped a double and scored a run back in the third. Extended his 4-game hit streak into 5 games. First offering into him. Hard line drive deep into left field. Ranging back is Dolan, but that baseball just died a little bit. Good contact, but with the wind blowing left to right today, and this ballpark just plays more like a pitcher's park than one you've seen. First pitch swinging, and quickly 2 away here for Haskup out on the mound. So we mentioned it, that 4th inning, uber efficient for Haskup. It's off to a good start here in the 5th as well. Wyatt Spinks back up to the plate. Brought home the only run of the game for Chestnut Hill back in the 3rd with his RBI single. So call him 1 for 2. And he drives one deep into left field yet again. Ranging back, Gil Dolan at the warning track, looking up, and it's going to one-hop off the base of the wall. So Wyatt Spinks, he's rounding second. He's heading into 3rd. Here comes the throw, and it's overthrown. Call it a sliding triple for Wyatt Spinks. And just like that, another run only 90 feet away for Chestnut Hill. Wasn't expecting Spinks to try to stretch that from 2 into 3 there, but it was a good decision on his part. He picks up his 2nd triple of the season. And one of the league's best hitters at .359 coming into this game already has a second base hit of this one. Now it's the 3-hole hitter and the pitcher Michael Pasco back up to the plate. First offering into him. Looks like a fastball down in the dirt, and it goes to 1-0. Pasco, he's 1 for 2. Worked a single his last time after falling behind in the count 1-2. Righty on righty matchup, and the 1-0. Drive out into right field, but it goes well foul and out of play. So it goes to 1-1 now. Pasco this year, team leading 16 RBIs coming into this one. Looking to add on to that total with a base hit here. Takes the next offering outside. 2 balls and a strike now on the 3-hole hitter. Big offering from Haskup. And another high, deep drive into left field. Ranging back, Gil Dolan. He's at the warning track. He looks up, and yet again it's off the base of the wall. Wow, called a long single for Michael Pasco as he doesn't stretch it into 2 that time around. Coming home to score easily on the play was Wyatt Spinks. So that time Pasco does add on to his RBI total. Call it his 17th of the season to lead all Griffins, and it's now a 3-2 ball game. Getting word from our staff, it was a 375-foot single. Obviously, might be a bit of an exaggeration, but boy, that is one of the longest singles you will see all year in the CACC, however. Still shocked at it not being extra bases. One of the better hit balls of the season. Now it's Nicholas Schiffler, the cleanup hitter, stepping into the plate. Scheffler 0 for 2, struck out looking his first time up, and grounded into a 5 unassisted 3 double play to end the third inning, and that was with 2 in scoring position at the time. A huge turn of events for Justin Haskell on the mound when it happened. Now the 1-1. Another high fly ball, this time shallow left field, ranging back to the shortstop, Cornwell, and he actually makes the catch. Had to backtrack a little bit as aforementioned, a lot of wind, and it might have gave him some trouble there, but nevertheless, the Griffins score a run on 2 base hits, the Pasco RBI single, and it's now a 3-2 ball game heading to the bottom of the 5th here on Post University Baseball. For us. It's now a 3-2 ball game in favor of the Eagles as we move over to the bottom of the 5th inning. And it's the top of the order coming up to the plate for Post University. Dolan, Cohen, and Hartman, the 3 due up. Still Michael Pasco out on the mound for Chestnut Hill in this one. After struggling in the 3rd, he bounced back nicely in the 4th, only gave up the double to Kohler. This time a hard line drive single on the first pitch he sees from Gil Dolan. And just like that, the Eagles are in business to kick off this 5th inning. Leadoff single and a man aboard. Moves Gil Dolan to 1 for 3 on the day. Dolan, he picked up the RBIs last time out on the ground out. But with that base hit, moves his 3-game hitting streak into 4. 12-game on-base streak into 13 for the sophomore infielder. Actually, outfielder, I should say. First pitch comes in to Joey Cohen. He lines one into left field and call it back-to-back base hits for Post University here to kick off this 5th inning. Boy, what a day for Joey Cohen. He's made a couple of nice plays out in the outfield. Hasn't had a hit since the 14th, and Holy Family picks up his 2nd of the day. And it's 2 on, no one gone for the Eagles, and Andrew Hartman coming up to the plate. By the way, only 2 pitches thrown this inning so far for Pasco, and both of them have been hard-hit line drives. So the Eagles, they've been making adjustments. Now 3rd time through the order. Always the most dangerous spot for a starter. First pitch, breaking ball, misses in the dirt. Count goes to 1-0 on the Eagles' 3-hole hitter. So far on the day, Hartman, he's 1 for 2. Reached both times he came up to the plate, however. The first time was thanks to an E1 on Pasco. Really just dropped that ball that was He was covering first on a ground ball to first base and just went in and out of his glove. Next pitch in, misses down low. Good take that time from Andrew Hartman. And possibly the best hitter on this Eagles team, if not the best, one of the best. In a very good spot here ahead, 2 balls to no strikes. Runner on second, that's Dolan. Runner on first is Cohen. And a quick check on the runner on second. Looked like it was a little bit of a shaky move that time from Michael Pasco. Looked uncertain, and of course, as a pitcher, you always got to be careful because it feels like the balk call might be the least subjective call in all of baseball. 2-0. Of course, I meant least objective, but hey, you know what I meant. Now goes to 3-0 on Andrew Hartman. We already saw Chestnut Hill greenlight a player earlier in this game. It didn't really work out in their favor, despite the ball being hard hit. Let's see if the Eagles do the same here to their 3-hole hitter Hartman. The offering misses down low either way, so we're not going to tell that at bat, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Andrew Hartman to load the bases with nobody gone for Michael Pasco. And yet again, rather surprised we don't see any type of mound visit or anything of the sort out of that Chestnut Hill dugout. Been a rough start to the frame for Michael Pasco, and with the bases loaded and Manny Contreras coming up to the plate, they're going to leave it to him to try to get out of this. First offering in, breaking ball finds the strike zone, and it goes to 0-1. Contreras 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts so far today, despite both of his at-bats lasting more than 6 pitches. 0-1 offering. Check swing on a breaking ball down low and in the dirt. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Said it more than once today, but Jackson Schollenberger really impressing behind the plate with a couple of nifty spots, and that one a rather big one to prevent a run from scoring. One offering into Contreras. You can tell he wanted to swing, started firing the back hips, but able to hold off that time was the Eagles catchers. Now 2 balls and a strike. A couple of first pitch singles to start off this inning for Post University, Dolan and Cohen each, and then of course the 4-pitch walk to Andrew Hartman, only the second of the day given up by Pasco. That one misses outside. It's now 3 balls and a strike, so nowhere to put Contreras. And a very dangerous spot to a very dangerous hitter. We have seen Pasco so far in this game not necessarily throw the fastball in these fastball expected counts. The 3-1, and he does that time. It looked like Contreras was right on it. Just missed a little under it, but the timing was there. Count runs full, 3-2. Huge pitch in the course of this outing and the course of this ball game for Michael Pasco. Bases loaded, nobody gone. The payoff. Checked his swing up high. Appeal down to first base. He did not go around, and that's going to be an RBI walk for Manny Contreras with the bases loaded and extends the Eagles' lead. It's now 4-2. So make it back-to-back walks in this game for Michael Pasco. And again, prior to this one, he had only given one the entire outing. Looks like we are finally going to get a mound visit here. Quite possibly a pitching change. So we're already in the 5th inning. But right now, looks like they just want to have a conversation out on the mound. It's going to be Jesse Alfala coming up to the plate next for Post University. So far in the day, he's 0 for 2. But as we know, Alfala, one of the more experienced players on this team and certainly a dangerous hitter. So possibly just going over some of the game plan. Is their pitching coach and Pasco. And it looks like the home plate umpire is coming in right now to try to break up the meeting. Taking a look at the schedule today, lots of games going on around the CACC. Lincoln at Dominican, Jefferson and Bridgeport, Felician, Goldley, Beacom, Caldwell, Wilmington. So plenty of games to catch up on throughout this day, but this one a very good one so far in one of the early slots. It's a 4-2 ball game in favor of the Eagles. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Eagles with an opportunity here to try to pull away from Chestnut Hill. Jesse Alfala takes the first pitch up and above the strike zone, and it goes to 1-0 on him. As aforementioned, Alfala 0 for 2 so far in this one. Now his third time coming up in the last 4 innings. The Eagles have started to rally here. Quickly ahead in the count, 2-0. Pasco has had such good command all season long. Really struggling to find the strike zone, or at least throw quality strikes, I should say, in this 5th inning. Now the 2-0 offering into Alfala. Fastball just misses the inside corner. Make it 3-0 now. As we mentioned in our pregame show, Pasco on the mound only has 8 walks given up this year coming into this one. That's going to be ball 4 up and above the zone, so another 4-pitch walk this inning. For Michael Pasco out on the mound, his 3rd straight walk of this frame, called another RBI for the Eagles, and it's now a 5-2 game. Fourth walk of the game given up by Pasco. Already increasing that season total by 50% in this one. As you mentioned, the Eagles, they certainly like to be patient hitters. So Evan Cornwell back up at the plate now. Cornwell started last inning off with a 4-3 ground out. He's 1 for 2 after his infield single in the second. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner, evens it up at 1 apiece. Still nobody gone here in this 5th inning. 3-run lead for the Eagles, an opportunity to add on more. The 1-1. High fly ball, fairly deep center field, but ranging under it is Spinks. Should be deep enough to score a run. Ranging home from third, Andrew Hartman. He touches home easily. Tagging from second into third was Manny Contreras. So called a job well done and a sacrifice fly for Evan Cornwell. It's now a 6-2 lead in favor of the Eagles. Seventh batter of the inning. 2 of the last 3 innings for Post University, 7 batters have come up to the plate. But looks like we're going to have another mound visit, and I got to imagine that's going to do it for Pasco in this one. Second time we've seen the coach come out to the mound today, and yeah, looks like an arm's coming out of that bullpen. So a new pitcher will be coming into this game for Chestnut Hill when we get back. It's a 6-2 Eagles lead here on Post University Baseball. New pitcher stepping up to the mound for the Griffins. It's the 5'11", 173-pound right-hander out of Philadelphia, George Conway, one of the main relievers, if not the main reliever for Chestnut Hill so far this year, making his team-leading 10th appearance of the season. In 15 2/3 this year, he's given up 13 earned for a 7.49 ERA. 4 walks to 10 strikeouts for the young freshman. First pitch in to Max DeFrancesco. Misses up and above the strike zone. The count goes to 1-0 on him. Not many tougher positions to come into if you're Conway out in the mound. Runners on the corners here with only one man gone and 3 runners already home in the inning. Foul tip that time for DeFrancesco, and it quickly becomes a 1-1 count now. A freshman-on-freshman battle here. DeFrancesco on the day, he's 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded out in his first couple of times up. One offering into him. Misses down low in the dirt. Moves it to 2 balls and a strike now. Conway, his last time out was the last game for Chestnut Hill. Pitched a scoreless inning. Gave up a hit against Wilmington. That time he gets DeFrancesco to miss late on that fastball. Evens the count up. 2-2 now on the Eagles' 7-hole hitter. Runner on first base, that's Alfala after his RBI walk. Contreras is on third after his RBI walk. One man gone as both runners take off. And of course, Contreras comes back. That one's skied in the air, so having to head back to first is Alfala. The infield fly rule should be in effect, and I imagine it was, albeit I was looking down at my scorebook. And there's quickly 2 away. Brings up Hunter Keller now in the same spot, but the job just gets a little bit tougher. 2 gone here in the 5th. Keller so far, well, he's 1 for 1. Worked a walk, scored a run, and then ripped a double his last time out. First offering into him. Off-speed pitch misses just a little bit outside the strike zone. Good take for Keller for the first pitch of the at-bat, and it goes to 1-0. Conway trying to keep things where they are. 4-run lead for Chestnut Hill. That pitch misses way outside that time, and Keller yet again in another good spot today. It's 2-0 now. His last at-bat, it was a first-pitch double, but his first time up, it was a 4-pitch walk. So seeing the ball well is Keller right now, and mentioned all of his red-hot numbers his last couple of appearances. 2-0. Check swing pop-up, fouling out of play to leaving it up at 2-1. Keller now with a 3-game hitting streak, including this one. 2-1 offering. Hard ground ball. It gets through the left side of the infield. That's going to score at least 1 run. Heading into third base. Heading into second now. On the throw is Hunter Keller. Called another RBI for the Eagles. Hunter Keller has his second double of the game, and it's now a 7-2 ball game. Contreras scored easily. Jesse Alfala first to third. Hunter Keller home to second, obviously. And the Eagles having fun here in the 5th. That's their 4th run of the inning. Can almost put the book away on Michael Pasco's start today, but still responsible for that last runner over on third so far in this one. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 7 earned runs for Pasco. 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. It's the number 9-hole hitter, Rene Vega, 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Next offering in, hard line drive, right center field, but right at the right fielder, Sharkey. And that'll do it in the frame. But the Eagles, they score 4 runs and take a 5-run lead. It's 7-2, Post University. Welcome back for the top of the sixth inning. It's Jackson Schollenberger leading it off. First pitch, ground ball through the left side of the infield. That's going to be another base hit and extra bases for Schollenberger. Here comes the throw into second base. It's not in time. Called an RBI double and a leadoff extra base hit for Schollenberger and Chestnut Hill in this one. Us there, so Schollenberger gets that leadoff double. Now coming in to hit, it's going to be Matthew Sharkey. Schollenberger, 2 doubles on the day now, and Sharkey, well, he's 0 for 2 with a couple of lineouts. Good pitch that time from Justin Hascup. Makes it a 1-2 count now on Matthew Sharkey. Obviously a runner in second after the leadoff double from Schollenberger. But Sharkey having to protect here. The 1-2. In there for a call, strike 3. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner from Hascup. That's a big first out of this inning, trying to keep it at a 5-run lead for the Eagles. So Aiden Myers is the next man up to the plate. Myers takes the first pitch on the outside corner, and that's strike 1. Boy, home plate umpires certainly calling that outside corner for a strike all night long. And smart on Hascup, now in his 6th inning of work, just targeting that outside corner. Check swing, definitely went around at Aiden Myers, and that's quickly strike 2 now. So Justin Hascup working a great outing so far, trying to continue it. The 0-2. High fly ball, straightaway center field. Joey Cohen, he's under it. Looking to tag from second base is Schollenberger. Here comes the throw into third. It's not in time. So call it a fly out for Aiden Myers. 2 away, but another run, 90 feet closer to scoring. Dylan Broderick's going to come up to the plate now, I should say. 8-hole hitter for Chestnut Hill. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Couple of flyouts on his ledger to right and center respectively. Almost did it again that time, but goes out of play, and it makes it a 0-1 count. Next offering, up and outside. Broderick looking to extend a modest 3-game hitting streak. Couple of flyouts so far today. This might be, well, probably his second to last chance of the day, we'll say. Depends on how the course of this game goes. If the Eagles offense can keep it up, it might be his last, but either way, that's a high fly ball deep into left field, looking up, and it goes over Gil Dolan's head, just off the top of the wall, maybe feet away from missing a round tripper that time was Dylan Broderick, and right on cue, he extends his hitting streak, called an RBI double, and it's now 7-3. For whatever reason, the dimensions of this ballpark at Municipal Field, it's not the biggest ballpark you'll see, but it plays more like a pitcher's park than many other in the CACC, and that is just another prime example. Ball was crushed off the bat of Dylan Broderick, but somehow found a way to stay in the ballpark. 0 for 2 on the day is Michael Miloski. Now the 0-1 into him. Chopped foul right at home plate. It goes to 0-2. Justin Haskup looking to get through 6 innings of work in this one. 3 runs or less, that would be a quality start. Check swing on a pitch up and above the zone. Appealed down, and first base umpire says he did not go around. Now a ball and 2 strikes on the third baseman for Chestnut Hill. Grounds one to the left side here. Fielded cleanly by Keller. Bullet throw to first in time. And that will do it here in the top half of the 6th. How about this outing from Justin Haskup? A quality 6 innings and 3 runs for the Eagles starter. It's now a 7-3 game in favor of Post. Bottom half of the 6th inning, and the Eagles looking to add on to their 7-3 lead here. George Conway still out on the mound now, working into his 2nd inning of work. First pitch misses up and above the strike zone to Gil Dolan, and the count goes to 1-0. Dolan today, he's 1 for 3, but a run scored and an RBI on his ledger, so a very productive day for the leadoff hitter. Ahead in the count, 2-0 here is Dolan, who's already extended his hit streak into 4 games and on-base streak. And he has another base hit on his ledger after the 2-0 hard-hit ground ball. Just goes right back up the middle for a nicely hit single, I should say. So either way, in back-to-back innings, Gil Dolan gets himself aboard with a single. The Eagles were able to score 4 runs. They brought first pitch misses down low to Cone, and it goes to 1-0. They, again, came in the 3rd inning as a defensive replacement, but 2 singles since then, 2 runs scored, and an RBI as well to go along with it. Dolan on first, nobody gone. Hard line drive, make it 3 singles now for Joey Cohen on the day. That one might go for extra bases. Heading into 3rd easily on the throw is Gil Dolan, and yep, call that a double to go with his couple of singles for Cohen, as he's now a perfect 3 for 3 in this one. Andrew Hartman's the next batter up. Hartman, he's 1 for 2 in this one so far. Picked up an RBI double back in the third, worked a 4-pitch walk last frame, came around to score a run. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Count goes to 0-1 now. Hartman, of course, one of the best on the Eagles this year, batting third in the lineup for a reason. And it's a hard line drive, straightaway center field, ranging under at Spinks, but plenty deep enough for a sacrifice fly. Both the runners move up. Runner tags from second to third easily in Joey Cohen. Coming home to score is Gil Dolan. Called a sac fly and an RBI for Andrew Hartman. And it's now an 8-3 game. So that run that Justin Haskup was just given up in the top half of the sixth inning, well, the Eagles get it right back for him. Once again, it's a 5-run ball game in favor of the home squad, and now it's Manny Contreras stepping to the plate. Contreras does that signal yet again when he says he misses up and above the zone. The count goes to 1-0. Haven't seen that before, but it's now the second time that Contreras has done that. When the pitch misses above the zone, signals as much to the umpire. That time it was a strike. Four different Eagles picked up an RBI last inning around. Already one with an RBI here in the sixth, and Contreras trying to add on to that, but now has to protect 1-2. Conway trying to get a vital second out of the inning, but it's not going to happen that time. Count evens up at 2 apiece. Could close the book, by the way, on the starter Pasco. 4 1/3 today, 7 hits, 7 earned runs on 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. In line for the loss if everything holds up. Hard hit ground ball with the infield in. It goes right through the wickets of Kenyon Motley and into left center field for what might be extra bases. The throw into second base, not in time. Called another hustle double for the Eagles, this time for Manny Contreras. Add another RBI to his ledger, and it's now a 9-3 ball game. Boy, throw looked pretty good that time. I believe it was Aiden Myers out in left center field who made the throw and had a chance to beat Manny Contreras, but Contreras might have gone around it with a good hook slide. Either way, it's another RBI on the ledger of Contreras and for the season now. That's 17 RBIs on the year for the catcher. Still only one man gone and another runner in scoring position for Post. Jesse Alfala now moves it to a ball and a strike as the wild pitch will allow Manny Contreras to advance up to third base. First wild pitch on either side today. Pretty big rarity. And really the entirety of NCAA Division II, but even here in the CACC, usually see a good amount of pass balls, wild pitches, at the first on either side today. Alfala doing a good job, works himself ahead of the count. He's 2-1 now. On the day, he's 0 for 2, but picked up an RBI with his bases loaded walk last time around. Misses off the outside corner that time, and it goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Already the 4th time through the order for the Eagles, and Alfala is going to work his second walk in as many innings. First one given up today by Conway. Moves things over to Evan Cornwall yet again. The Eagles right now are just putting together some good rallies after good rallies. Offense really breaking out in a big way. Cornwall will be the 6th batter of the frame to come around. Runners on first and third, still only one man gone. You know, if you're Conway, you're looking for that ground ball back up the middle. You just don't want it to be too hard hit. First pitch gets fouled straight back into the netting, and it goes to 0-1. Cornwall, he's 1 for 2 today. Infield single in the second, and got a sac fly for an RBI as part of that 4-run 5th inning. Oh-1 is a shallow blooper into center field, charging on Spinks, makes the catch, tagging from third is the runner in Contreras. He'll get home without a throw. So yet again, another Eagle does their job, and the second sacrifice fly of the day for Evan Cornwall. So with the runner on first and 2 men gone now, it's Max DiFrancesco coming to the plate. 0 for 3. One of the only Eagles without a hit so far. And he might change that one around. Yes, he does. Right on cue. DiFrancesco finds some grass over the second baseman's head. Moving from first to third on the play is Alfala. But called a single and another runner in scoring position for the Eagles. Brings up Hunter Keller with runners on the corners now. The 8th batter of the inning for Post University to come around. Remember, we have another game to play after this one, so the deeper you can get into the bullpen of the opposition, the better if you're Race Golden Crew. First pitch. Looked like it almost got a piece of Hunter Keller. He really didn't move out of the way at all of that one. That goes to 1-0 on him. Keller, a perfect 2 for 2. Couple of doubles, runs scored, an RBI, and a walk. Quickly ahead in the count, 2-0. Back-to-back pitches that have missed off the inside corner to Keller. Picked up his 12th RBI in his last at-bat. Looking to do the same here. Fouled one straight back into the mask of Jackson Schollenberger. Count evens up here at 2-1, but home plate umpire doing the right thing, walking the ball back out to the pitcher and allowing Schollenberger a time just to catch his breath. Inning started at a leadoff single with Gil Dolan. Joey Cohen followed it up with a double of his own. Hartman sac flied a run home. Contreras with his double. Alfala walked. Cornwell hit another sac fly, and then DiFrancesco just hit that latest single. So both the outs in this inning for the Eagles have come through for runs. Pretty efficient. Quick check on the runner at first. DiFrancesco gets back in safely. Doesn't feel like you really need to check on DiFrancesco. He doesn't have a stolen base attempt so far this year. Doesn't have a giant lead either over at first base. 2-1. High pop. Be 2-2. So George Conway probably thinking finally out on the mound, and he has an opportunity to get out of this frame. 7 runs in the last 2 innings for Post University. 10 total in the game. Payoff pitch. Hard ground ball to the left side. Gets under the glove of the third baseman and under the glove of the shortstop, as that's a seeing eye single if I've ever seen one. Hunter Keller finds his way aboard yet again for his third base hit of this game, and that was a great battle between the two. Comes home for an RBI as touching home was Jesse Alfala, and it's now an 11-3 ball game. So Keller, his second ribby of the day. We're going to have another mound visit here. Pitching coach makes his way out to the mound to have a word with Conway. It's been a long inning for George Conway. Again, one of the more relied upon relievers here. And that's going to be a pitching change for him. That'll do it. So we have a new arm coming into this one. It's an 11-3 ball game in favor of the Eagles when we get back. Stepping up to the mound, southpaw out of Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Luke Schweiker. Stepping up to the mound, trying to stop the bleeding for Chestnut Hill. It's their 6'1", 215-pound southpaw out of Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Luke Schweiker. Trying to just put an end to this run parade that has been going on for Post University. Well, it's been a little bit of a rough start for Schweiker so far this year. 3 games, only 2 2/3 innings, and 16 earned runs so far for Schweiker this season. That's a whopping 54 ERA. Taking a look at some of his numbers, it's not really like he's given up a whole lot of walks. 5 of them. I mean, it's not great, but certainly doesn't usually territory. Ranging back was the first baseman Broderick, but he just couldn't corral it in foul ground. So first time up, got robbed of a base hit by Aiden Myers in the 4th inning and then lined out to right field his last time around. By the way, for both Rene Vega and Hunter Keller, this is their 4th time up in the last 4 innings. Then continuing against Conway, just having a good time. 1-1 offering. High fly ball. Once again, shallow infield foul ground, and it goes out of play. Count moves to 1-2 on the Eagles' switch hitter. Now batting from the right side, facing the southpaw. Taking a look at Schweiker. His last outing was really a very tough one for him against Dominican. It was 1 2/3 innings of work. He gave up 3 home runs and 8 earned runs in that stretch. Now a 2-1 strike count. Really a 2-2 count, I should say. So Schweiker only a pitch away from trying to stop what's been a 4-run inning so far for the Eagles. The 2-2. Line drive, right center field. Well, that's not going to get it done. Instead, it'll get it done for the Eagles. 1 run comes home and scored. Vega, he's rounding second. He'll stay put there. But the second run comes all the way in from first. It's a 2 RBI double for Rene Vega, and it's now a 13-3 Eagles lead. So a 10-run lead for Post University, and for the second straight inning, they have batted around. Back up to the top of the order and back over to Gil Dolan, who led this inning off with a single and scored a run. Squares around with 2 outs, gets it down. Boy, that is a beautiful play from Gil Dolan, bunting for a base hit with 2 outs here in the 6th. And you hear the pause there because there's a few reasons why. Number 1, Ray Skold is hot on the third base coach's box. He's yelling over at second base at Rene Vega because Vega didn't make his way over to third on the bunt, so he stays put. Meanwhile, I was pausing originally because it's kind of breaking the unwritten rules of baseball a little bit, bunting for a hit with a 13-3 lead, but we'll see if there's any type of retribution. I'm personally not a big fan of the unwritten rules, and I'm happy that they seem to be going away more and more with the younger generations, and hopefully that continues. And maybe Chestnut Hill won't retaliate. We'll see. Next offering in to Joey Cohen, misses below the zone, evens the count at 1-1. Eleventh batter of the inning for Post University. Now the 1-1 offering. Big wave and miss that time from Cohen. Goes to 1-2. Cohen having a fantastic day. Perfect 3 for 3. Couple of singles, an RBI, 3 runs scored, and a double actually to go well with it. Trying to stay alive here. The 1-2. Hard ground ball to the left side, fielded cleanly by the shortstop Motley. He goes the short way for what is finally the final out of this inning. But the Eagles scrape across another 6 runs in the frame and now lead it by 10, 13-3 when we get back. Stepping up to the mound, trying to close this game out for Post University. It's the 5'10", 190-pound junior right-hander out of Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Dalton Wright stepping up, making his 6th appearance on the bump so far this year. For Dalton Wright, in 7 1/3 innings of work, he's given up 5 earned. A double, a triple, no homers yet, and opponents are only hitting 200 against him so far this year. But on the very first pitch, it was a rip of a line drive that time from the top of the order in Kenyon Motley, but fortunately nothing to show for it as it goes right to the center fielder Cohen, and just like that, 1 away here in the 7th. Of course, with the doubleheader in effect today, if there's a 10-run lead after 7 innings of play, well, that's ball game, folks. Mercy rule in effect. So for the Eagles, they have an opportunity here to try to end this first game early. Dalton Wright trying to do just that. Now going up against Wyatt Spinks. First pitch in there for a strike to Spinks, and the count goes to 0-1. Wyatt today, he's 2 for 3. RBI single, a triple, a run scored. Big swing and a miss that time around, and quickly Dalton Wright ahead of the count. It goes to 0-2. For Dalton Wright, his first outing of the season, it was a rough one. 2 innings of work, 5 earned runs against Franklin Pierce. In the 4 outings after that, he's barely given up anything. Only 3 hits since then. No earned runs, no walks since then as well. So for Dalton Wright, he has really settled down into the season nicely. One of the top relievers for the Eagles last year, looking to do the same this year. 1-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. And just like that, the Eagles are 1 out away from closing game 1 out here at home and winning their home opener. It'll be up to Michael Pasco, who's somehow able to still enter the game. Pasco, remember, started this game on the mound, a 2-way player, and then got subbed out off the mound. So far in this game, he's 2 for 3. Gets back into this one somehow. RBI single his last time up. Maybe it's the rule that the Ohtani rule is in effect, so to speak. You're still allowed to hit when you could pitch. It's not quite the same as the Ohtani rule, but it's close enough that we'll call it that. 0-1 offering into Pasco. Dalton Wright ready to deal. The 1-1 gets fouled out of play, and it goes to 1-2. Can close the book on a few pitchers in this one today. For the Eagles starter, Haskup, 6 innings of work, 9 hits, 3 earned runs. Only 1 walk and 3 strikeouts, well in line for the win. That's if Wright can finish the job here. Not that time, however, as it goes to 2-2. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, reliever George Conway, not in line for a win or a loss, but not a great outing. 1 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earned on 1 walk and no strikeouts. Wright trying to work a 1-2-3. Hard ground ball to the right side, fielding it, bobbling it, and recovering is Vega. The throw to first is in time, and that'll do it for game 1 of this 2-game doubleheader. Dalton Wright shuts the door for Post University as they take this one by a score of 13-3. Getting the win today for the Eagles, it'll be Justin Haskup. Haskup now improves to 2-3 on the year. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, it'll be Michael Pasco taking the loss as he now drops to 0-2. Not a safe situation for Dalton Wright, but certainly a very clean inning of work. 1-2-3 for him in the 7th. And a whole bunch of Eagles had a lot of fun at the plate here in Game 1. They rallied together for 13 runs and 14 base hits as they dominate Game 1 and mercy rule Chestnut Hill by a 10-run lead. So don't go anywhere, as we'll be back in only about 30 minutes from now for Game 2 here in Game 1. They rallied together for 13 runs and 14 base hits as they dominate Game 1 and mercy rule Chestnut Hill by a 10-run lead. So don't go anywhere, as we'll be back in only about 30 minutes from now for Game 2 of this doubleheader. But you've been watching Post University Baseball.